Hi everybody and welcome. My name is Susan and welcome to my YouTube channel and also to my little home studio here where I do all of my sketching, creating and filming of these videos for you. Now I love sketching and today I want to share with you some ways to find creative inspiration that is hidden in plain sight. Tiny details are hidden all around us. There is so much creative inspiration right in front of our eyes, right under our noses, if only we just pay attention and look for it. Pausing to notice these small details, these tiny little bits of beauty that perhaps we might overlook as just regular things and items, can be really enlightening and also super fun. I'm a big fan of sketching objects that I just see around me. I sketch my drawing materials, I sketch my coffee cups all of the time, and they're a massive feature within my sketchbooks. It's one of those things that once you start looking for little things to draw, you almost can't stop finding them. So let me dive in and explain a few of the fun things that you could try sketching as well in your sketchbooks. So let me talk about observation. Now, when you're drawing actual objects and things that you come across in your daily life, it's really important to focus on observation. And I believe that all art is a process of observation. Now, when I teach drawing, so for example, if I'm teaching how to draw something that we are seeing, when I'm explaining to students on retreats, in workshops, in my Inspire membership, or even on my annual sketchbook challenge, I will talk about how drawing is 80% observation and 20% doing of the drawing. And sometimes I mess about with this. Sometimes we do something called a blind contour drawing where we look 100% at the object and we don't even look at our paper at all. But generally, I always suggest that you spend a lot of your time looking, observing. Observing is just one of the most important things, because if you're not looking at your object, you can't draw it because you don't know what the shape is. Observation also just gives us the opportunity to just slow down as well, to really look. Looking and sight are a huge, it's a huge one of our senses. Our sight is so important, and sight, and as like all our other senses, come in very strongly when it comes to mindfulness, that ability to just observe what we're seeing in our immediate environment and just to be at peace in that particular moment in time. So the first thing when you're looking to find inspiration in everyday objects is to really look for perhaps objects that you may overlook normally. And what I mean by this is you've probably got your daily routine. I certainly do. I come downstairs, I pop my coffee machine, boil the kettle, I've got my little routine of what I do. There's probably things within, let's say my kitchen as the example, that I overlook every day. It's almost like when you do a car journey on a routine that you do regularly, whether it's to the supermarket, whether it's to work, whether it's to the school run. Sometimes we do that drive on autopilot. We know the route, we know it inside out, we know all the little traffic jams, we know where the lights are, or we'll leave the house and we don't remember locking the door, but we've done it because it's our routine, it's a habit, we automatically do it. And when we go about our everyday, we very often just overlook normal, regular little objects that are actually quite interesting, that have got some wonderful shapes, and are things that we can sketch and observe and express about in our sketchbooks. So first of all, I just want you to go away and have a little look around in somewhere that you go quite a lot. So it might be your kitchen, it might be your lounge, and just look at little objects that you could potentially draw and go and find a handful. As an example, I've just picked up some things that I've overlooked in my house. I've got a little battery that I use to change the lights here in my studio, a little clip. I've never really looked at this before. Clips and pins and little objects. I've got a little bulldog clip. Pencils and pens. I sketch these quite a lot, but sometimes we're so busy using them, we don't look at them. And then we've all got some of these around our plugs, cables, sockets, kind of some of the practical things that we use on a daily basis we may overlook as interesting subject matter. And when we talk about everyday objects as subject matter, this is a traditional genre in fine art, the still life. And these things are really quite interesting. So what I'd like you to do is go and grab maybe 5 or 6 little objects that you overlook regularly in your house. Collect them, pop them in front of you, and just look at them for a little bit. And then I can give you some suggestions now of ways that we can sketch these things. So go and get your objects. Right, welcome to some of my sketchbooks. And I just wanted to give you some examples of way that you can draw some of these everyday items in your sketchbook, just as a way to find inspiration in the everyday, in those regular things. Now, suggestion number 1 is this one here, and this is a blind contour drawing of just a little bottle. Using a pencil, looking at the object 100% and the paper 0%, put the pencil down on the page and just draw what you see in a couple of moments without looking at your page. Super, super hard, but super, super fun. This is a fountain pen, for example. It's a blue fountain pen, and I just sketched a few of my art materials very quickly, very loosely in fountain pen. You can do pencil studies, so you can study things just in perhaps a little bit more detail using pencil, getting some of the dark areas, the shadows, studying in a few moments, not worrying too much about taking a long time. And you don't have to fill a sketchbook page in one sitting either. You could just build this up and study your pens and pencils in one go. So simple graphite study, really, really fun. Now, the other thing that I love to do is to sketch using Fineliner pen. And these little bulldog clips here were my subject matter for this sketchbook page. And all I did was do a little pencil drawing first. Then I went over the outlines with Fineliner pen. Little bit of coloured pencil to add a bit of colour, and then the finishing touch, which I love to do, is to use a little brush pen in grey and just add a little bit of shadow. So you can see how this lays on the page here, and you can see the shadow. And then if you enjoy these everyday objects, you can create a little composition. So this one is just a couple of inches big, and I've used a pencil. I've used a little plug, like something just very regular and ordinary, and a pen as my subject matter. But rather than drawing all of it, I've created a composition. So a square, a viewfinder is a great way of doing it. I've drawn that, and then I've placed this over my little composition. So again, I'm not sketching all of it. I'm selecting a composition and then drawing that. I would have done it in pencil first and then gone over it in that little Fineliner pen just to add a bit of tone and light and shadow. That took me a little bit longer. That was a slightly more detailed, slow, careful study, a little bit more accurate. So that's just a few suggestions. And here, just for, even a bit more fun, I sketched my lunch. Really loose in pen, and then added a little bit of colour with some coloured brush pens. So just a few ways that you can take these regular, ordinary, perhaps uninteresting things. I wouldn't call my lunch interesting. I certainly wouldn't call it a work of art, but actually just taking some time to sketch it is super, super fun. And I think that when you slow down to draw those small things that you see around you, you really train your mind to pay attention. And I personally find this incredibly relaxing and incredibly calming. So I hope you found that an interesting discussion on how we can find inspiration in everyday objects, in sketching those things that we see all around us, but perhaps we don't see them in the same way. So go and search your home and find a few objects that perhaps you overlook regularly, lay them on your table and get sketching. Now, if you enjoy sketching these tiny details, I have something really exciting that will explore tiny moments just a little bit later this summer. It will give you more techniques, more options, more subject matters, and just show you how to make the most out of those pockets of time in our day and to make them calming, tiny, beautiful moments. So do keep tuned. I will have more videos coming every week here on my YouTube channel, exploring this theme in a bit more detail and leading you into this exciting new course that is coming up. Don't forget to pop in the comments the items that you sketched today. Which items did you find in your home? What beauty did you find in them? Do use the comments to share with me, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel to have updates on when the latest videos are shared with you. Happy sketching, everybody!